From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A pleasant evening. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening to you. I'm Lakshit Singha, and to start off, we take a quick look at the headlines. District farmers' representatives of farmers have urged the President not to reverse the steps taken to use organic fertilizer. Prime Minister says the people should have the belief that the outcome of continuous efforts amidst many difficulties would remain for the benefit of the country in future. A total of 173,520 COVID-19 vaccine doses inoculated yesterday. A decision to lock down Java Islands in Indonesia amidst rising corona infections. On to those and other stories in detail. District farmers' representatives on behalf of 1.1 million farmers across the island have urged President Gotabaya Rajapaksa not to reverse the steps taken to use organic fertilizer. Farmers' representatives shared these views at a meeting with the district farmers' representatives of Sri Lanka National Farmers Organisation held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. The farmers' representatives highlighted that it was their absolute duty and responsibility to return to the traditional farming methods and provide the people with a non-toxic, healthy diet. The previous governments on a number of occasions have tried to convert into organic agriculture. However, the President said that the reasons for their failure would be studied and the new program will be implemented rectifying those errors. The policy of the present government is to uplift the agricultural sector. The increase in the purchase price of paddy from 30 rupees to 50 rupees per kilo is a step taken to encourage farmers. Later, farmers were able to sell their paddy at between 65 and 68 rupees per kilo. The government intervened to control the price of rice to protect consumers. The President stated that the government will create an environment where the farmers will be able to receive a sum of 80,000 million rupees spent annually on the importation of chemical fertilizers while protecting the future generations from non-communicable diseases. The President said that in order to implement the program continuously and successfully, the required amount of organic fertilizer, including herbicides and pesticides, will be made available to the farmers in the same manner the chemical fertilizers were provided. At the same time, local entrepreneurs and industrialists will be given the opportunity to produce the required fertilizer locally. The farmers can also produce the organic fertilizer they need. The government has made plans to provide the funds required for this purpose. The President assured that the income earned by the farmers will not be reduced, and if it does, the government would compensate so the farmer will not have to suffer. The President also approved to increase the upper limit for contracts for farmers' organizations from 2 million rupees to 10 million rupees for undertaking projects to rehabilitate tanks and canals. It was also decided to expand the scope for direct involvement of farmers when selling harvest at economic centers. President Rajapaksa pointed out that this was not a sudden decision and this initiative was launched to fulfill a promise made in his Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor policy statement as the presidential candidate. Some people try to point this out as a reverse journey. However, the President emphasized that the use of organic fertilizers, which is a new trend in the entire world, would take the country on a new path of agrarian economy. Many who speak out against the program are referring to prices of fruits and vegetables which are produced using organic fertilizers, but they have failed to pay attention to the farmers suffering from the use of chemical fertilizers, he added.
උද්ඝෝෂණයක් කරන්න සාධාරණ අයිතියක් නැහැ. මම ඒ තරම් කෘෂිකර්මාන්ත ගොවි මහතුන් වෙනුවෙන් විශාල ආදායමක් ලැබෙන ක්‍රමවේදයක් සකස් කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි විශාල වැඩ
Minister Mahindananda Alutkamage handed over the farmers' insurance scheme to the President, which was suspended during the previous government and will resume from today. Minister Mahindananda Alutkamage also revealed that the government is focusing on increasing the farmers' pension. Minister Alutkamage said that immediate steps will be taken to construct 105 new warehouses to store paddy, provide financial assistance to farmers' banks, and to update the agricultural database expeditiously. State Ministers Shashindra Rajapaksa, Mohan De Silva, Sita Arambepola, Secretary to the President P.B. Jayasundara, and government officials, including secretaries to the ministries, were also present.
State Minister Lasan Talagiyavana says no decision has been reached to increase flour price rates. State Minister made these remarks to the national television today following a meeting with representatives of All Ceylon Bakery Owners Association. State Minister Lasanta Legiavana said that the Consumer Affairs Authority has imposed a controlled price rate for flour. Accordingly, he said that the Serendip company had proceeded ahead with the price increase without informing the Consumer Affairs Authority. Therefore, the State Minister said that the Bakery Owners Association had decided to increase the controlled price. The State Minister further said that the Consumer Affairs Authority has decided to take legal action against the relevant company for increasing the price rates without prior notice to the authority. Accordingly, he said that the Bakery Owners Association agreed not to increase the price rates of bakery products during the meeting held today.
Epidemiology Unit has said that a total of 173,520 COVID-19 vaccine doses were administered yesterday, recording the highest number of doses administered in a single day in the country. Accordingly, the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine was administered to 91,759 persons and the second dose has been administered to 79,236. The second dose of the Covishield vaccine was administered to 2,523 persons yesterday. 2 persons received the second dose of the Sputnik V vaccine. A total of 3,866,623 have received the doses of vaccines under the COVID-19 immunization program thus far. The program to inoculate persons over 60 years of age in Western Province in hospitals was conducted today. Accordingly, the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine was administered under the program. The vaccination program has been carried out in 18 hospitals in Colombo district, 17 hospitals in Gampaha and 10 hospitals in the Kaluthara district. New resident representative of World Health Organization in Sri Lanka, Dr. Alaka Singh, said that her organization commends the measures initiated by the Ministry of Health for the prevention of COVID-19 outbreak. She made these remarks during a meeting held at the Ministry of Health with Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi. The new WHO resident representative emphasized that the World Health Organization is committed in providing all necessary assistance for the prevention of COVID-19 in the country. A total of 403 persons have been taken into custody in the last 24 hours for violating quarantine regulations. Accordingly, a total of 45,935 persons have been arrested since the 30th of October last year thus far. 1,173 COVID-19 patients were detected in the country today. Meanwhile, 1,888 patients left the hospitals today following recovery. The Health Services Director General confirmed that 43 COVID-19 related deaths were reported yesterday. Monaregala District Secretary Gunadasa Amarasinghe has said that the Asala festival of the historic Ruhunu Kataragama Devalaya, scheduled to take place from the 10th of July till 23rd, will be held without the participation of devotees while limiting to traditions and rituals. The task force on the resumption of aviation services of International Civil Aviation Services Organization has praised the Rajapaksa International Airport in Mattala. The relevant recognition has been bestowed for conducting and maintaining airport operations in accordance with the organization recommendations. A certification has also been presented to the Mattala Airport accordingly. The relevant certification has been issued in recognition of health protective methodologies implemented by the airports around the world amidst COVID-19 pandemic by the International Airport Council. The 1390 National Joint COVID-19 Indoor Treatment Digital Platform has been established to proceed with the treatment of the COVID-19 patients within a proper management framework. Bank of Ceylon, Dialogue Axiata and another private company have directed assistance for this initiative.
The World Health Organization confirms that the 10-week decline in new coronavirus infections across Europe has come to an end. Meanwhile, Indonesia has announced a lockdown on its main island, Java, as well as the tourism destination of Bali. The announcement of the Indonesian government came as the country battles multiple outbreaks and an alarming spike in COVID cases. Indonesia recently recorded 2 million COVID cases attributed to increased holiday travel and the Delta variant. The lockdown will last 2 weeks and aims to reduce the number of cases to below 10,000 a day. The country is currently recording more than 20,000 new cases each day. Indonesia reported 24,836 new coronavirus infections in the last 24 hours, along with 504 deaths, both record daily highs. However, experts warn that the case numbers are potentially much higher due to the severely inadequate testing outside Jakarta. Health experts have further pointed out that the outbreak could be as bad as India's devastating second wave if tighter measures are not introduced. Indonesia has had the worst COVID outbreak in Southeast Asia, with about 2.2 million positive cases and more than 58,900 deaths so far. The World Health Organization's Regional Director for Europe, Hans Kugt, has said that COVID cases are on the rise again in Europe after 2 months of decline and warned of a new wave following 10% increase in infections recorded last week. World Health Organization has indicated that the increase in infections has been driven by increased mixing, frequent traveling, gatherings, and easing of social restrictions. The European Union has said that Delta variant could become the dominant strain, with 90% of new cases in WHO's European region, which is made up by 53 countries and territories, by the end of August.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the nation should have the belief that the outcome of continuous efforts amidst many difficulties would remain for the benefit of the country in future. The Prime Minister made these remarks while addressing the inaugural ceremony of the program initiated to develop 500 villages across the country as Saubhagya production villages. The ceremony was held at the Temple Trees today. Beans and coffee seeds production village Mandaram Nura Hanguranketa in Nuwara district, ornamental flower production village Udu Iria Golla Peradenia, and sesame oil production village Piranpatru Sandilipa in Jaffna were named as Saubhagya production villages. The relevant digital plaques were unveiled under the patronage of the Prime Minister. The houses built in Kumbugate, Ganewatta in Kurunagala, and Kinadeniya Meergama in Gampaha under the initiative Saubhagya Senehase Nivatana were presented to the relevant house owners in parallel to the inaugural ceremony. State Ministry of Samurdhi, Household Economy, Microfinance, Self-Employment and Business Development has declared a Saubhagya Samurdhi Week from today until the 7th of July to provide an efficient and accelerated service for the public. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the entire world has faced many difficulties and challenges amidst the pandemic situation. He said that as a nation, the entire population in the country will also have to face these difficulties. However, he said that the government has been able to successfully implement the vaccination program with the assistance of each relevant stakeholder. The Prime Minister said that the public trust is a massive strength for the government. He further added that the government will continue to act with the objective to uplift the local economy as well as the development of the country. The Prime Minister said that the rural community will be directly involved in the country's production process with the implementation of this program. The Premier further said that the living standards of the people will continue to improve following the creation of alternative income earning avenues. He said that those who have received a house today will begin a new life tomorrow. He said that the outcome of the continuous effort of the people amidst many difficulties would remain for the benefit of the country in future. Ministers Johnston Fernando, C.B. Ratnayaka, Namal Rajapaksa and Ramesh Patirana, State Ministers Kanchana Wijayasekara and Ajit Niwad Cabral, Secretary to the Prime Minister Gaumini Senrath, Central Bank Governor Professor W.D. Lakshman, Secretary to the State Ministry of Samurdhi, Household Economy, Microfinance, Self-Employment and Business Development Neil Bandara Hapuhinna, Secretary to the State Ministry of Finance, Capital Markets and State Enterprise Reforms R.M.P. Ratnayaka and Samurdhi Director General R.P.B. Tilakasari were present at this occasion. New Director General of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation Jayampati Bandara Heenkenda assumed duties this morning. He was appointed to the post by Minister of Mass Media Dr. Kehelia Rambukwella. Newly appointed Director General of the National Television Jayampati Bandara Heenkenda has previously functioned as the Chairman of the State Printing Corporation during the period of 2010 to 2015. He is also the present Chairman of the National Languages Education and Training Institute. He has also functioned as a Director of the State Printing Corporation and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Director General of President's Media Sudeva Hettiarachchi, President's Media Spokesman Kingsley Ratnayaka, Prime Minister's Media Director General Vijayananda Herath, Chairman of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation Reginald Kure, Director General of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation Chandrapala Liyanage, Director General of the National Languages Education and Training Institute Prasad Herath, and Chairman of National Paper Company Vimal Rupasinghe were present at this occasion. Director General of the National Television, Jayampati Bandara said that he pledges to extend his utmost best for the betterment of the corporation from his post. He said that in his previous posts, the employees of those institutions were looked after by the respective institutions, yet the staff was unable to maintain those institutions. He added that this system should change, and he requested the staff of the National Television to extend their utmost for the betterment of the institution. Chairman of the National Television, Reginald Correa, said that the country as well as the entire world has faced with a challenge. He added that the institutions have also faced this challenge. However, he said that this institution has transformed into an institution which compete against this challenge. He added that unity is the key in facing this challenge. He said that both Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation have embarked on the same journey together. He said that this unity should be further strengthened and expanded. The government has taken many steps to improve the Piriven education of the bhikkhus. Accordingly, 300 Pirivens are expected to receive 10 tabs each. The aim of this initiative is to develop online and distant education. This initiative has been implemented under the technological equipment including computers and tabs and digital infrastructure facilities development project. Minister Nama Rajapaksa directed attention on several initiatives related to Piriven development during a meeting held at the temple trees. The education of novice bhikkhus has been challenged with the COVID-19 outbreak. As a solution to issues pertaining to low connectivity experienced by certain Pirivens, measures have been taken to establish e-Taksala centers in Pirivens situated in high connectivity areas, allowing affected novice bhikkhus to engage in their education without any disruption. Steps have also been taken to include novice bhikkhus for the project, which provides tabs at concessionary price rates. A proposed channel of the Ministry of Education will be utilized for Piriven education.
Presenting of 2,000 three-wheelers to Sri Lanka Police was commenced today. The relevant project was initiated with the participation of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees. In accordance to the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, these three-wheelers have been distributed after identifying the importance of a strong transportation system for each police station. The relevant three-wheelers expected to be utilized to prevent trafficking of illegal narcotics and criminal activities, as well as in the tasks to ensure national security through intelligence and civil duties. Three-wheelers were symbolically handed over to Meegoda, Gotatuwa, Yakkala, Belmulla, Pallewala, Mihijayasevana, Kurunduwatta, Egoda Uyan and Mattegoda police stations by Prime Minister. The government has spent more than 829 million rupees for the importation of the three-wheelers. The initiative to further strengthen the community police concept with the strengthening of the relations between police and the general public to promptly reach rural areas will also be carried out through this program. Minister Rear Admiral Sarath Weerasekara and IGP C.D. Vikramaratne were also present at this occasion.
A Major General of the Army who was involved in a heated altercation with a group of Wildlife Department officers in Habarana on the 25th of June has been taken into custody by the Habarana police today. Police media spokesman Senior DIG Ajit Rohana said that steps were taken to produce the suspect before Kakirawa magistrate after he surrendered to the police earlier today. A complaint was lodged with the Habarana police under the charges of obstructing the officials who were on duty at the roadblock in Maradankadavala Road, Habarana on the 25th of June. The police media spokesman has said that complaints over the incident have also been lodged with the police by the Sri Lanka Army entities as well. Sri Lanka Army has initiated an inquiry over this incident. A committee headed by 2 senior Major Generals has been appointed to inquire into the details of the incident and submit a report to Sri Lanka Army Commander and Chief of Defence Staff General Shavendra Silva. And in sports news, we take a look at the medal hoops feature. Timali Haputanna is an athlete who has claimed many national and international victories in the sport of weightlifting. She continued to reign as the title holder of the National Junior Weightlifting Championship from 2011 till 2019. She was able to win the bronze medal in the 81 kg weight class in the 2014 and 2016 National Games. Subsequently, she was able to become the champion in her weight category at the 2017, 2018 and 2019 National Weightlifting Championship. Themali Haputanna, who had won many accolades as a junior weightlifting champion in Sri Lanka, managed to win the gold medal at the 2019 South Asian Games in her weight category. And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Until then, good night.
Good night.